everybody, it's Norma. Man, if you've been missing videos from me, this is your weekend. I did a haul video. I did my What I Am Burning Now video in June. It just posted this afternoon. And now I'm just getting ready to start dinner and relax for the evening. And I was like, you know what? I got these empties accumulating. It's time to get them out. So I am doing my empties for the month of May, which is, about time because it's almost, the middle of June. I can't believe where this summer's going. It's just going by so fast. So fast. And somehow I'm still managing to burn through candles. Not quite as much as I have done in the past, but that's okay because even though I have like a bunch of candles to get through, it's like, I don't want to burn quite so much because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Trimming the wicks and, replacing votive holders and, tea lights. And oh my God, it's just a lot of work with all the candles. And of course, there's the soot issue. I've been so busy this spring, I just haven't had time to even really wash the walls. It's better. I had a real problem about 3 years ago. And most of what I see on the walls is basically what I couldn't clean up at that time because I have cut back a lot, but I'm still like over the top compared to, most people who might burn 1 or 2 candles at a time. But I'm slowly, trying to cut back, but I don't know if I can cut back any more than I have. I feel like I give this speech every time I do an empties video because I still have a lot of empties. And most of these, I do burn all at the same time. Not all, but the majority of them. However, I did do some melting my crock, so as I get to the candle, it's pretty obvious the ones that aren't all the way empty are ones that ended up in the crock for one reason or the other. So I'm going to start with Yankee Candle. I didn't burn a whole ton of Yankee candles in the month of May, which is a little disappointing for me because the largest part of my collection is floral, and May should have been my month to really go crazy with the florals. I did some in April, but there were some other candles that I wanted to burn, and just I don't know, it is what it is, right? So anyway, to start with, I did have 2 little baby jars in lemon lavender, and I had these in, I love this set, in the in a medium jar fractal holders because these are a perfect size. For the medium jar fractals, sometimes I use votive holders, but a lot of times I like to use the little baby jars because, I don't have to replace the votives quite so often. And then spring wouldn't be spring without 2 of my favorites from Yankee. Yankee does still do a pretty good job in the florals. So Tulips, which is probably, I'm pretty sure it's my #1 favorite floral from Yankee. It's green, it's fresh, but it has warm notes. I just absolutely love it. I've always had a good throw with it. I just absolutely love it. The only thing I don't like about it is when I do my decor in the spring, I usually go with like purple, lavender, even maybe pink, and the red just doesn't match, but I don't care. I burn it anyway. And then another favorite is Lilac Blossoms. Now, as you can see, I didn't burn all the way through because I was really curious to see how this one would do in the crock. I'm finding, not all my candles perform in the crock equally. There's some that I can barely smell. There are some I can smell only if I'm in my kitchen because my crock is actually on my kitchen counter. And there are some that I can smell all the way throughout my condo. Lilac Blossoms was one that I could smell all the way out through my condo, and it was just a beautiful scent. Sometimes, the crock just brings out different notes that you just don't quite get when you're burning. It was really beautiful, and I enjoyed it, and I was glad that I tried putting it in my candle crock, which I'm only down to one because one of mine broke a few months ago, and I just have never gotten around to replacing it because Candle Warmers doesn't carry the crocks anymore, so I'd have to get something off of Amazon or someplace else, and I just haven't gotten around to it. One is doing me good for now, but I think eventually I'm going to have to get another one. Otherwise, I'm just like chopping up wax and throwing it into my centerpiece, and it takes a lot longer to get through a candle that way. And it's just more work, In the crock, I can put it in, and it's most candles will give me a good throw for a week, and that's leaving the crock on 24/7. If the candle isn't throwing, if it's light, I give it 2-3 days and toss it. Another one that was really good in the crock was Jasmine Green Tea, which you guys know I love the scent. And I was just having some issues burning it, partly because I just wasn't home a lot to let things pool out. And so it was starting to tunnel, and it just wasn't giving me the throw that I wanted. So I really didn't want to throw this one in the crock, though, because I really like this one. But it got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I want to see how it does in the crock. So I will sacrifice a jar. And I was really glad that I did, because it was fabulous in the crock. This was one that filled basically, not my whole condo. No, nothing does that. But the whole front half of my condo, which is my great room. It's a kitchen, dining room, living room combined type of room. It was fabulous. So I was really, really glad I did that. And so I didn't feel so bad, if I burnt almost half of it and then melted the rest. I don't like to put a completely full Yankee Candle or any candle in my crock, because if I want to switch it out, it's hard if you got a jar that's really full of melted wax. So I'm finding that for me it works to burn the candle down a little bit at first, and then if I want to enjoy the scent more, or if it's misbehaving, then I put it in the crock. That just seems to work for me. Another candle that was destined for the crock because of misbehavior was Yankee Candle's World Journey Sahara Sun. And for those of you who don't know, Sahara Sun is a dupe for their Napa Valley Sun. Usually I have really good luck with the 2-wick pillars in paraffin wax. And the World Journey candles are in paraffin wax. They're not in the smooth wax. Normally they burn fine. The problem I have with the smooth wax is the wicks always end up moving on me, and they'll move all the way to the end of the jar, which can be dangerous because the jar can get too hot and break. I typically don't have that problem with the paraffin wax, which is why if I buy a 2-wick pillar, I do prefer it to be in the paraffin. But every once in a while, I've come across some 2-wick candles in paraffin wax that have major wick issues. And I've experienced it most often in the World Journey line. And that could just be because most of the paraffin wax candles are World Journeys, unless, if you go to Yankee and get a candle from their main line, if it's like white wax or a soft yellow, it can tend to be in the paraffin. But yeah, it started out great with the wicks, and then the more I burnt it, the tinier the flames got, to the point that they were so tiny they were almost non-existent, and the candle wasn't pulling out. So one by one they went to the crock, and this was one that didn't really do that well. I could smell it when I was standing right in my kitchen, or if I had absolutely nothing else going and it was the only scent around, then I could pick up the scent. I love Napa Valley Sun. To me, it's always been like a vanilla, almost like an ambery type scent, but it does have notes of floral and fruit in it. And I was never, ever able to pick up the fruit notes. As you guys may know, Napa Valley Sun was part of the collection that came out with grapevine and oak and vineyard, and they were all supposed to have like this grapey smell. And I could never, ever, ever, ever pick any kind of fruit note up in Napa Valley Sun until I threw this in the crock. And it was like one day I came home from work, and I was like, oh my God, I must have left a candle burning because I smelled a fruit note. And I knew the only candle in the crock was Napa Valley Sun. So I like went around and said, oh my God, what did I leave on? There's nothing. It was Napa Valley Sun. So I guess it's true, there is a fruit note in there, but to me it's so so light, so detectable. But you know, everybody's noses picks up something different. So yeah, disappointed in my World Journeys this time around. So, nope, I thought I was done with Yankee, but I got two more. These are jars in lemon and sugar from the Girl Scout collection. You may remember that when the collection came out, I made a haul. I think I bought like 6, and I was so disappointed because I just love a good lemon vanilla bakery scent. That is like my, you know, holy grail of candles. You know, other than, you know, of course I like tea, but as far as lemon goes, I'm just always on the hunt for a really good lemon bakery scent. And when this came out, I love the scent. It's like, yeah, this is what I want. Unfortunately, my large jar didn't throw. And I had just gotten a crock at that time, and so I put it in the crock, and it didn't throw. So I returned my lemon and sugar, and I'm kind of regretting that now because I think I should have just kept them and let the oil sit and marinate for a year or two. Maybe it would have done better. And I always in the back of my mind regretted exchanging those for something else. It's like, I should have kept them. So when I saw these in Home Goods, I think it was last summer sometime, I bought them. And I'm really glad I did because, you know, I burnt it a little bit, tested out, couldn't really smell it. Although they weren't scentless. You know, if I stuck my nose in the jar, I could smell it. I think my other ones were scentless, but whatever. But they did okay in the crock. So it wasn't super strong, but it was definitely detectable, and I enjoyed it. So, yeah. I wish they'd bring this one back. I'd give it another shot. Okay, so that's it for Yankee. Let's go on to Crinkle. I have 2 Crinkle candles. One I love, one I didn't like. The one I didn't like, believe it or not, was the French Lavender. Now, if you guys have been watching me for any length of time, you know I love lavender scents. It's just, you know, it's natural, it's clean, it's fresh. Lavender is classic. I did not like this lavender. Now, when I look at the scent notes, it says lavender, citrus, herbaceous, and eucalyptus. I don't know if it was the eucalyptus, which I like eucalyptus. I do. But this lavender just smelled woody to me. It just didn't smell fresh and clean and sweet. It was to the point where I was like, I couldn't even stand smelling it anymore. And I didn't stick it in the crock because I didn't want to be able to smell it that good. Because I was like, you know for sure, the ones you don't like are the ones that are going to throw the most, right? So I finished it off because it was beautiful. You know, I had it in a clear hurricane. The label's gorgeous. It was very pretty burning. I had absolutely no burn issues with it. But it wasn't the type of lavender that I really like. I like their lavender vanilla, but this one won't be a repurchase for me. Did not care for it. Now, on the other hand, their Rosemary Lemon is one I purchased many times, and I burnt it most of the way through, well, halfway, and then I was like, okay, I want to see how this one does in the crock. And it did okay. I was a little bit nervous at first because the first day or two I was like, I don't think I'm smelling anything. And just when I was getting ready to take it out of the crock and put something else in there, it kicked in. And it did fabulous. It, you know, scented, you know, like I said, half my condo. I really enjoyed it. It is one of my favorites. I did notice that it is on, I think it's in their clearance section right now. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, Rosemary Lemon. To me, it's a nice balance of lemon and rosemary, maybe leaning a bit more heavy on the lemon. But yeah, it's just, I love it. It's just classic, clean, fresh, great for summer, great for your kitchen. Very nice scent. Okay, I had one Colonial Candle, and this is another one that would not be a repurchase for me. I'm not sure if it's available anymore, maybe in the sale section. Daffodils and Daisies. Beautiful label. It was beautiful burning, you know, yellow wax. I had no burn issues. As you can see, there's a little bit of soot on the top, but it just was generic blah. It didn't stand out to me as a floral. It was just, you know, it was light, it was green, fresh type of floral, but it just, there was nothing to it that made me like, oh, this is a really pretty scent. Oh, I really like this. It was none of that. It was like, whatever, you're pretty burning, but I'm over you. So I would not repurchase that one. Okay, another candle I would not repurchase is Village Candle Natural Cotton. I actually had two of these. I burnt one years ago, and then when I burnt it, my furniture was arranged differently, and I had a cabinet that was right next to my front door. So I don't know if it was, you know, being next to a door, like, you know, in the summer and spring, I usually will have my door open, you know, it has like a screen door, let the fresh air in. So I don't know if it was that or what, but it was like so insanely strong. It choked me, kicked me out of the house. I couldn't bear it. It was so strong, and it took me forever to finish that candle. And I had bought two of them because on cold I liked it at the time anyway. But it's just kind of, I found cotton scents I like better now. And this is just too soapy for me. So I had the second one, and I've been terrified to burn it all these years. It's been sitting in my closet, and I finally looked at it. I said, okay, you gotta go. I'll give you another shot. If I don't like you, you're headed for the crock. I don't even think I crocked it, now that I think about it. I don't think I did. It's, well, maybe a little bit because it looks like the wick moved. But it is just a really strong scent. So this time I burnt it in my hall bathroom. So it's not a room I'm in all the time. I go in and out. And it didn't seem like it was quite as strong as it was the very first one I had. But it was just, I just wasn't really enjoying it. I must have stuck it in the crack, but I'm telling you, it's so strong right now. That's why I'm like, did I put this in the crack? Because it has so much scent in it. It's just not a favorite cotton scent for me. I tend to like more light floral type cotton scents. And so anyway, it's done. Let's see, this was Home Goods back when they were $9.99. I can't remember what year that was, but yeah, live and learn, right? Okay, so the rest are I have two Henri Bendel's and then Bath and Body Works. So both of these I have burnt before. I've talked about before. No big surprises here. We have Gardenia and Velvet Ode. Both of them beautiful, beautiful scents. Velvet Ode is no longer available. It's, you know, a rose sandalwood type scent. Henri Bendel's Gardenia is beautiful. If you love gardenia scents, you should give this one a try. They used to be $30. They reduced the price. They're now $25. So, you know, you're saving $5 off. And every once in a while, they will run a sale, like maybe 20%, 30% off. It's a beautiful gardenia scent. I like it a lot better than Yankee Candle's sheer gardenia or white gardenia. It reminds me more of Crinkle Candle used to have a gardenia, and I loved their gardenia. To me, this is more similar to that. So if you like gardenias, check that out. Both of them, you know, threw great. No issues with that. Okay, getting down to the wire here, we have Bath and Body Works. And Snap Peas from the Fresh Pick collection. I picked these up at my very first Bath and Body Works semi-annual sale. As many of you know, I wasn't really into Bath and Body Works. I was a Yankee girl for years and years. And then when I started my channel on YouTube, you know, everybody was into Bath and Body Works. You were either basically Yankee Candle or Bath and Body Works back then when people were getting into YouTube. And so everybody was like, you need to try Bath and Body Works because we want to see you do reviews, blah, blah, blah. So eventually I did go to Bath and Body Works. And so, yeah, that's how it all started. In case you weren't aware, I was Yankee first and foremost, and then I branched out into other brands. So Snap Peas, I picked up during my very first semi-annual sale. And I like it, but I don't think if it came back, I would get it again. This year there seems to be a big trend in a lot of the candle companies to have like vegetable garden type candles, like, you know, carrot nectarine. There's been like, I can't even think of all this, since horseradish or radishes, and, you know, all these vegetable based type candles. But I think this must have been one of the first ones. And it's fresh, it's clean, it kind of does smell like Snap Peas, but I had burnt it because I was looking for something, a smaller candle that was green to burn with my florals, and I thought this would be perfect. But after a while, I was like, because it throws. I mean, these little jars threw. I had 2 of them going on in my bedroom at one point, and I was burning it with, I think it was my Roses of Cliff Walk. I think it was with my rose candles. And it was like, vegetal green is not quite the green note I was looking for to go with my florals. I mean, it definitely was more vegetable versus a floral type of green. But it threw well. I tried it. Hey. But if it comes back, I think it's a pass for me. And then, okay. 4 winners right here. Lavender Marshmallow from the Sweet Shop collection. I hauled this earlier this year. I really liked it. When I did my semi-annual sale haul yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I've lost track of time already. They had 1 in the store, and I walked around in my cart for a long time, but in the end, I said I'm only getting 4 candles, and I ended up getting the 4 Sweet Cherry Pie instead, because I already have Lavender Marshmallow, so I figured I'm good. London, probably one of my favorite Bath and Body Works candles, Tea and Lemon, because I love tea scents. Had to get one of those in, and then I burnt 2 Amsterdam's Tulip and Windmills. They didn't come back with a scent this year, did they? I haven't really been up on Bath and Body Works candles this year, but I thought this was one they brought back all the time, and I don't remember seeing it unless it was a repackage of something. I'm sure somebody can comment down below. It's a very strong floral. I actually like it though. I can only burn, you know, 1 at a time because it is pretty strong, but it's, you know, one of those clean, fresh, smells like a flower shop. So yeah, I enjoyed all 4 of these. So there you guys have it. That is what I was burning in the month of May. I already posted my what I'm burning now in June video. Usually I do my empties first and then I move on to June, but I did it backwards this time. But hey, that's okay. So there you guys have it. I think I'm going to be done with semi-annual sale this year, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So stay tuned. If you guys like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe below, and have a blessed day.